Egypt. As the sun rose over the Nile, 4 coach parties left Luxor for a sightseeing trip to one of the country's finest ancient monuments, Queen Hatshepsut's temple.
We were about 20 people on the bus, and our tour guide said, so now we are leaving the east side, which means the city of the living people, and we are going to the west side, which means the city of the dead people.
3 hours later, the sightseers had witnessed a brutal massacre. 58 tourists from 7 countries and 4 Egyptians were gunned down at point-blank range. They did not know their killers or why they were targeted. Now, 5 years on, relatives from 3 families who died that day want answers. From around the world, they are coming together to travel to Luxor. Egypt, land of the pharaohs. Its 5,000-year-old heritage of pyramids, temples and mausoleums has attracted visitors for centuries. Ancient sites like Luxor in the south have been transformed into popular holiday destinations. They come for guaranteed sunshine and day trips into Egypt's past. They have little contact with local people. In October 1997, the Turner family were planning a trip to Egypt. Karina Turner, a 24-year-old air hostess, lived with her daughter Shauna, her sister and her mother. Karina was a single mum. Her work took her away from home 3 or 4 days a week, but she enjoyed an active social life. Since Christmas of 1996, she'd been seeing local hairdresser John Laycock.
I was on a work staff night out and I just got talking to her. She was out with a group of friends, I was out with my friends from work. I don't think I'd been out with anybody for quite a long time, on a regular basis, and when Karina did come along, it just all of a sudden just changed, really. I did spend a lot of time with her.
Karina started seeing a lot of John. She relied on her mother for babysitting, as well as Shauna's other grandmother, who lived nearby.
Oh, these pennies! Loads!
Loads of money!
Loads of money!
Shauna was my son's child. She was a very, very bonny child. And very, very loving child, very affectionate. She liked kisses and cuddles.
As the holiday in Egypt got closer, the 5-year-old's excitement grew.
And she was so excited about going, you know, it's going over the sea on this big plane, and it's going to be very hot, and I have to take my sun lotions, and I've got to wear a hat. And so we were on countdown then to how long it was before she went on this big plane.
Egypt hadn't been Karina's choice. Like John, she preferred sunshine and a hotel pool to sightseeing. But Karina let her mother Joan choose the holiday as a thank you for all her help.
It was more Joan's interest that they wanted to go look at the sites, and I know for a fact Karina didn't want to do that, which I've never been particularly interested in things like that.
In Japan, 4 newlywed couples were also planning a trip to Egypt. Amongst them was 25-year-old Satko Yamashita. Satko had grown up with her parents and younger sister Shoko in a suburb of Tokyo. Before the wedding, they were inseparable, seldom spending time apart. They dreamt of setting up a small family restaurant where they'd serve an exotic mix of Eastern foods learned from their mother. Satko was very protective of her younger sister. If ever Shoko was feeling depressed, Satko would write notes to cheer her up.
Dear Shoko, I think I'm really lucky to have a sister like you. I know you are having a hard time at the moment, but try to be brave and go for it. Your friends and family are always there for you. Your sister.
Satko's arranged marriage to Hidenori in October 1997 was an elaborate mix of styles: Christian, Shinto, and pure Vegas. For their honeymoon, the couple chose an exotic tour of Egypt's ancient sites.
They were both fascinated by the ancient civilization of Egypt. They couldn't wait to go, especially Luxor and the Valley of the Kings. I remember it now.
In Switzerland, Rosalie Valler was offered a free trip to Luxor by a relative in the travel business. Rosalie wanted her youngest daughter Cecile to go with her, but she had some concerns about safety in Egypt. She contacted her well-travelled brother, artist Hans Schöpfer.
My sister asked me whether I thought she should go. She was a bit nervous and wanted my advice. I told her that I'd been in countless third world countries, in regions where civil war was raging. I'd been mugged several times, but I'd never lost my life. So I told her, if you insist on being frightened, you'll never go anywhere. But you could just as easily lose your life outside your own front door.
Lying in the heart of Upper Egypt, Luxor, surrounded by harsh desert, hugs the banks of the Nile. This isolated town relies almost entirely on tourism. Outside the centre, there's nothing but peasant farming. Every year, 1.5 million sightseers flock here, filling the town's coffers with much-needed funds. By November the 16th, 1997, among thousands of tourists, Karina, Satko, Rosalie and their families had checked into their luxury hotels. Back in Halifax, John Laycock was having a busy Saturday at his hairdressing salon. Karina had left a couple of phone messages to say she was enjoying the hotel pool. At 9 o'clock that evening, John rang back, forgetting the 2-hour time difference.
So she comes on the phone and she's sleepy and tired. I said, "Hey, all right?" She went, "What are you doing ringing this time?" I said, "Well," he said, "ring me back." So I've rung you. I said, "Well, what are you doing in bed?" She went, "John, it's 11 o'clock at night." Oh, shit, I just didn't realise. So what are you doing in bed now? I thought you'd be out. No, we're going on a trip in the morning. We're up early, maybe 5, 6 o'clock. I said, "Oh, well, I hope you're having a nice time." And I said, "Look, I won't keep you." I said, "So I'll speak to you soon." And that was it.
Satko and Hidenori and the other honeymooners were coming to the end of their 10-day tour. The group planned an early start to visit the temple the next day, but Satko and her husband stayed up late to celebrate. It was well past midnight before they turned in.